Hey everybody, it's Steve here and welcome to another episode of the Blockchain Homestead. So tonight I'm going to be talking about some fear, uncertainty, and doubt that's been driving the markets, and also talking about some future directions for the videos that I see coming, and then I'm going to also mention some shout outs to some people that I ran into recently that have been liking the YouTube channel. So, or being introduced to the YouTube channel. So first, Adam, shout out to Adam. Adam commented on one of the videos recently that he really enjoyed the videos, but he wants to know, what the record is behind me. So I had mentioned about the records recently that, I change them up, and it's usually something that's going on, either a particular song or just a mood I'm in. So today I was feeling some new master sounds. There's the guys behind me. So Adam, these are the new master sounds. If you haven't seen them in Asheville, they're from Leeds, outside of London, the suburb of London. I think it's a suburb, and they play Asheville a lot. Whenever they're in the U.S., they play Asheville, and it's a treat. They're really, really spectacular. Eddie on guitar and Simon on drums are just hilarious. It's a small town, so a lot of times they're hanging out after the show, and you can get to meet them. And those two are just really, really funny. I mean, everybody in the band's hilarious, but those two particularly are really funny and super good musicians. This is the Hamburg Sessions. It's a live analog recording, analog through and through, from the recording to the mixing to the processing to the pressing. So it's a really interesting record. New Master Sounds, Hamburg Sessions. All right, on to Bitcoin. So a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt the last couple of days have been driving the market down. So the first bit that I really caught wind of was the Binance hack. So what happened was an exchange called Binance that I use a lot got hacked, and people's altcoins like say Populous or Omizgo, like OMG, Pillar, Cardano, Tron, those were sold at the market price for Bitcoin, and then the Bitcoin was used in that person's account to buy a coin called VIA, or Avia. So basically some hackers owned this coin Avia and then hacked somebody's account to buy that coin to raise the value so that they could sell into that buying pressure. It's intelligent. I wish they would use their intelligence for other activities besides stealing people's money, but that's a side note. So, but this brings to light a very important part of FUD, right? You will hear consistently over the next couple of years as exchanges continue to get hacked, you'll hear that this is a signal that Bitcoin is a bad investment, that cryptocurrencies are fake, that they lack intrinsic value, that they're just ones and zeros, and you're going to lose all your money. So, as I mentioned in the videos before, if you keep your money on an exchange, yeah, you could lose all your money. An exchange is a website. It's a business, right? Understand that. The blockchain itself has never been hacked, and I doubt will ever be hacked. If you read the white paper or watch the video I put out earlier on how the blockchain works, it's mathematically possible, but functionally improbable. Okay, it's like an asteroid hitting my house at the next 3 seconds, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, mathematically possible. That could have happened. Probably improbable in the larger scheme of things. Same thing here. If my credit card gets hacked and a fraudulent charge is made for a pair of sneakers in Thailand, does that mean that the US dollar is a bad investment? Does the fact that my credit card got hacked mean that MasterCard and Visa are terrible systems and you should never use them? No. It means that there are possibilities of being hacked when you have your money on some exchange. Or Wells Fargo gets hacked. I had this happen to me recently. That happens, all right? You're using your debit card, something happens and they get your card number, you get a fraudulent charge. Does a fraudulent charge on my Wells Fargo check card mean that the US dollar is bad or Wells Fargo is bad? No. It means that happened. That's all that means. You can't extrapolate further than that. But the media is going to tell you that this means that the entire crypto universe is a bad investment because an exchange got hacked. Don't fall for it. It's just the reality of the situation. If you keep your money on an exchange, it can and will be hacked. Period and a sentence. Doesn't mean anything about the crypto space. It just means that website needs some better security. And that's all you should think of it as. So, what's next up? Oh, I forgot. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I always have a little graphic. So, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. The next is the Tokyo Whale. So, way back when, there was an exchange called Mt. Gox. I kept a fair amount of Bitcoin on Mt. Gox because I was young and ignorant and naive and trusting. And all of my Bitcoin were stolen that I had on that exchange. Which is why I implore you people, and I extol this, and I rail on this. Don't keep your money on the exchange. Don't keep your coins on an exchange. They can and will be taken from you. Okay? Use a paper wallet. Use a Ledger Nano. Use a desktop client. Buy a computer and then take it off the internet and just keep it in a box. I don't know what you want to do. All right? I'm not your financial advisor. But I am a friend. And I'm just telling you from personal experience, don't keep your coins on an exchange because they can and will be lost, and it's very sad. So, but the Tokyo Whale, that is the trustee for the Mt. Gox bankruptcy. And they sold $400 million or more worth of Bitcoin since December. I don't know if you've noticed since December at the peak, it's been on this huge downturn. So the Tokyo Whale had a lot to do with that. Now, this was a topic that Palmer and I brought up recently. I think I mentioned in another episode. Palmer, one of his concerns was that there were whales. There were Bitcoin addresses that had huge amounts of Bitcoin, and at some point they could sell and drive the price down. Well, Palmer, there you go. Right? Tokyo Whale did in fact do that. Did in fact drive the price down, or extend, or took advantage of a downturn, and sold a bunch of cryptos, but it damaged the technical analysis for the Bitcoin market. We've been in this extended downturn because of that. But it's been a downturn. It's not a bear market. The market did not collapse. The market actually absorbed it pretty well. If you really look at the fundamentals and you see the days that it sold off, it really did keep its value pretty strongly. So I would see it as a positive. And maybe it's Pollyannish on my part. Yeah, that's for you to judge. But I see the fact that several $100 million of Bitcoin were sold in large tranches didn't really drive the price down too bad. And we kept our strength pretty strong. I see that as a positive. It shows that the market is resilient. The market cap of $377 billion currently for all cryptos is sufficient to absorb large influxes of selling or buying. And I see it as a healthy, robust market, personally. That's my viewpoint. You could take issue with it, and you're welcome to it. Next point has to do with some of the selling, but also an uplifting video from my point of view, depending on how you look at it. And again, maybe I'm Pollyannish. But BitcoinBen is this character. He's a character. It's my first video I saw of him, and he was great. I really enjoyed his energy. So BitcoinBen is a truck driver who spends 10 to 12 hours a day driving our nation's highways and listening to all things crypto. And so the dude knows what he's talking about. Very, very, very well versed. So he was bringing up with JSnip4 on his channel, on JSnip4 channel, on a live chat on the 7th of March. He was bringing up that this coordinated selling that's been happening the last couple days that Jonathan in the Facebook group, Asheville Cryptos, pointed out, it happens at the same time every day, right around noon. This is a signal to the big money players that the jig is up, in that, not that the prices are going to go down, but the prices are going to go up. This is a signal from the people that are in on the exchanges, the GDAXs and Coinbase type, the large exchanges that also have a lot of funding from Wall Street folks, NASDAQ and whatnot, Seed and Company. These guys are signaling to the other players that the market's about to move. When you're seeing these sorts of regular selling tranches, it reminds me of Andrew Maguire's work in the silver market. So if you're interested in this sort of thing, Google Andrew Maguire and CFTC manipulation. Andrew Maguire silver market manipulation. And you'll see some really interesting videos. He's a whistleblower. And because he was part of the manipulation. And so he tells you in these videos that you can find, I think he's also been on Max Keiser's show. And again, Max Keiser is awesome. Max, if you're listening, or anybody knows Max, I'm giving a talk on Sunday in Asheville on Bitcoin. It'd be great if you were there. I'm a huge fan. Okay, so that's BitcoinBen. But BitcoinBen was saying that he got a call from an insider that he knows that in the next 2 to 3 weeks, expect a big pop in the crypto majors. Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Litecoin, but not in that order. Litecoin's the big mover. That's why, if you watch back on my other videos, this is my first time listening to BitcoinBen, but Litecoin's been on my radar for a long time. So I am continuing to buy Litecoin, and anybody like me that has money laying around, well, I don't anymore because I've been buying so much Litecoin, but if you have any money laying around, you might want to consider thinking about investing in some Litecoin. So, but I'm not a financial advisor. Don't listen to me because I don't know what I'm talking about. Next up, I want to give a shout out. One of the coolest things happened today. So, I went to a Young Professionals of Asheville meeting, or a meetup mixer sort of thing at a brewery called White Labs, which is a really awesome brewery. And I was at this thing and ran into Daniel and Jake, who I met at the last YPA event. And these two guys are great. They're a lot of fun. Daniel is a real estate agent, and Jake works in the textile industry. But Daniel was talking to this other guy, and we were also chatting up these girls, and the topic of cryptocurrencies came up, and Daniel was like, "Oh, you know, that's interesting. Steve is giving a talk on that." And John breaks in. He goes, "Yeah, I know who he is. I've seen his videos." So, John, thank you very much for that. That made my day. So, thank you very much. That was much appreciated that you've seen the videos and recognized me. And we had a great conversation about all things crypto and just the Federal Reserve and all of it. So, thank you, John. I appreciate it. Thank you, Daniel and Jake, for a delightful evening out. And thank you to Ayla for a great conversation. She's a beautiful young woman who's a banker and very well versed in things, and she was really interested in cryptocurrencies as well. So that was a fun conversation we had. So, and I encourage them all to come to the talk I'm giving on Sunday. If anybody out there listening lives in the Asheville area, or if you know anybody in the Asheville area, share this video with them. I'm giving a talk at the new Wedge at Foundry, 5 Foundry Street, Wedge at Foundation. It's a new location, and on Sunday from 2 to 5, it's $25. You get a pint glass, an etched pint glass for the event. The first 25 people will get pint glasses, and a free beer, and some prizes, and I'm going to be cooking up some food for you guys. So come on out and enjoy the time, and we're going to be talking about cryptocurrencies and how to invest in all the pitfalls and all the fun stuff that's coming. So that's from 2 to 5 at the new Wedge. And then that's all I have to say about it, really. Oh, one last thing. I'm going to be putting out some videos in the next couple weeks about the direction I see, general direction I see. I might mention some coins that I'm invested in and that I like. You know, not investment advice. But I'm looking at making some videos to just describe how I see the technology really improving different market niches. And then that way, if there's a particular market that you're interested in, that'll clue you into where again, the 3 big things to think about when you think about cryptos: efficiency, disintermediation, right, removing the middleman, and then trust, right? So when you incorporate, and then the 4th would be tied into efficiency, is the distributed ledger part. So yeah, check that out. And then if you know anybody that lives in Asheville, or if you live in Asheville, come check me out at the Sunday at the Wedge. I'd appreciate it. All right, guys. See you soon. Love y'all. Bye.